So my informative research was about protecting biodiversity, which refers to the creatures that live on this planet. People, animals, vegetation, this thing. But there's been a bit of controversy regarding the impact humans have had on biodiversity. Some people believe that the ecosystem and animals are being harmed due to human activity, while others believe that the things we do are necessary for progression. So let's dive into this. So the way I'm going to format all this is I'm going to explain an argument for the side supporting protecting life on land, and after that I'll explain the opposing side argument. Each side has 2 arguments each, and then when that's all done, I'll go over my opinion on it. So, starting off with the humans are bad side, they think we are the most harmful thing to biodiversity. Something we do that's harmful is destroying land. Deforestation, polluting, killing animals, and the construction of industrial infrastructures all contribute to the loss of natural land. So there's deforestation, which is the removal of forest. The world has lost up to 1 billion acres of forest since 1990, and that number is still rapidly growing to this day. The reason why so many forests are torn down is because the space is needed to be converted into things like homes, power plants, and agricultural purposes. Now, littering is to make dirty or unclean, especially with harmful chemicals or waste products. Now, every year we dump about 2 billion tons of waste, and it's extremely harmful to the environment. Now, there's also air litter, or in other words, just pollution. Remember when I mentioned industrial infrastructures earlier? Well, those big ugly clusters of metal pipes and smoke greatly pollute the air that we breathe. They also make an abundance of greenhouse gases, which are the gases that trap heat in the Earth's atmosphere. In other words, these things contribute to global warming. They're not good. Now, everything that I've just mentioned all contributes in some way to the extinction of animals. A huge reason for animals dying is because of their natural habitats being destroyed from deforestation, and the toxic waste from all that littering can harm their environment as well. The air pollution makes animals susceptible to diseases and respiratory issues. Now, the opposing side believes while we may do things that harm biodiversity, they are beneficial to us. For instance, with the human population growing rapidly each day, it only makes sense that we make room for housing and other goods and services, like agriculture. Agriculture is the art and science of cultivating land for growing crops or raising livestock. Now, it's extremely useful for society. They provide food, crops, clothes, and those industrial infrastructures, well, even though they can be harmful to the environment, they are used to produce electrical energy. Without them, refrigerators, air conditioning, lighting, and other mechanical appliances would run out of energy and cease to work. Again, the human population is growing by the second, and with that growth comes an increased need for housing as well as other goods and services. So while these things may harm animals, they are necessary for our survival. Now moving back to the supporting side. They believe animals play a key role in keeping environments healthy. Here are a couple of examples. Do you hate insects? Well, then you'll be happy to hear that bats play a key role in keeping the insect population at bay. Every year, bats contribute about $3.7 billion in pest control. There are also elephants. Elephants love to eat a bounteous amount of plants, which helps spread seeds that can be fertilized in their, excrements. They're also known to dig up water holes, giving a fresh supply of water for them and other species. The 3 animals I mentioned just now are sadly endangered. Scientists have come to the realization that the extinction of one animal species can cause a domino effect and delete a ton of others. There are many other examples of how animals can provide for each other as well as humans, which is why we should do whatever it takes to protect them, not hunt them down. The opposing side believes that hunting animals is not as harmful as it seems. The main reason being, well, we eat meat. Except for vegans. Meat takes up a substantial part of the human diet, and in some places of the world, hunting is the main source of food. Another thing is that hunters like to go get their food out in the wild because sometimes meat sold in stores have extra additives. Also, all of the hunting license fees is donated to wildlife conservations. Hunting also contributes to the population control of certain animals. The increase of urban populations have an effect on certain species. Like for instance, in some places of the world there have been a decrease of natural predators. This will lead to an influx of certain animals, like let's say deer. Deer are known to eat plants, so introducing a bunch of deer into an environment would result in the damage of many crops and plants. I think everything I've talked about can be summarized with this. What do we care about more? Our well-being or the safety of animals? We can stop deforestation and stop making these harmful things to the environment, but we'd lose resources that we need for our ever-growing population. We can stop hunting animals, but that would mean that we'd have less food, and there'd be an influx in populations of certain species. So, thanks for watching, and if you're going to peer review this, please be merciful.